Right. Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching the on-demand information session. Today, we'll be going over the reading and literacy programs here at Bay Path University. My name's Gabrielle, Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions, and I'm thrilled to be here with Phyllis Hakeem, the Program Director of the Reading and Literacy Instruction Program at Bay Path University. Professor Hakeem has been employed at Bay Path University since 2016 in various roles, including instructor, consultant, reading specialist, MTEL preparation, and now as program director for the reading and literacy instruction programs and certificates. Thank you, Phyllis, for this opportunity to present our offerings here at BPU and to identify what sets us apart from other institutions.
Glad to be here.
All right. So, Bay Path University was established in 1897 as a private, not-for-profit university. We have three campuses, one at Longmeadow, East Longmeadow, and an online presence, with a student body of over 5,000 students and more than 17,000 worldwide alumni. We are also accredited by the New England Commission of Higher Education. Now, why choose Bay Path University? At Bay Path, our mission is to empower you, not just as a student, but as a whole person preparing for a meaningful career in life. So why choose Bay Path? First, we're flexible and accessible. Whether you're balancing work, family, or other responsibilities, our programs are designed to meet you where you are, with online, hybrid, and on-campus options that fit your schedule. Second, you'll find a truly supportive faculty and staff, from admissions to academic advising. You're never just a number. We're here to guide you every step of the way, cheering you on and helping you succeed. Third, Bay Path is home to an engaging and diverse community. You'll learn alongside students from all walks of life, gaining perspectives that broaden your thinking and enrich your experience. Fourth, we believe in an innovative approach to learning. Our curriculum goes beyond the traditional, using real-world projects, technology, and active learning strategies that keep you engaged and challenged. And finally, what you learn here is immediately applicable. Whether you're entering the workforce or advancing in your career, our programs are built to give you skills you can use from day one. At BayPath, you're not just preparing for a job, you're preparing for a purpose. Now, Phyllis, will you review for us the program degree options and what happens after being accepted?
So, yes, as you can see, we offer a Master of Science in Education degree and an Education Specialist degree. Both degree programs can be either non-licensure or licensure. And after being accepted to our highly competitive programs, the candidates meet with me for an onboarding session. This includes, in part, an orientation specific to their program, discussion of course schedule options, and a Canvas tour. That's our learning management system.
Great. Could you explain the benefits of enrolling in an EdS degree?
Sure, first, a candidate will have an area of specialization and credentialed status. An EDS in some districts can provide a contractual salary increase, is valued when considered for promotions, is respected when applying for administrative, district, state, and university positions, and is a bridge to a doctoral degree. Also, if one of our graduates applied to BPU for a doctorate in leadership, they 36 credits will be accepted towards their program.
That's great. And could you explain the difference between the licensure and non-licensure tracks?
Of course, think of it this way. BPU is the sponsoring organization that provides the endorsement, and the state of Massachusetts issues the license. On this slide, we can take a moment to go over the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education requirements. So, really, in the beginning, before I read this slide to you, it's important to note that this is a second initial license. So, in the state of Massachusetts, you have to have at least an initial license and have taught under that license for 1 year. You have to complete all required reading and literacy instruction courses successfully with a B or better. You have to meet DESE requirements for passing the Communication and Literacy MTEL. That's our Massachusetts test for educator licensure. You have to pass the reading specialist MTEL, and you have to pass our pre-practicum and complete with a B or better, the practicum seminar, a 150-hour practicum field experience in a Massachusetts public school setting or special education private school that is approved by the state.
Awesome. So, does your program support candidates in preparing for the Massachusetts state licensure exams?
Yes, it's important to stress that these exams are like passing the boards for lawyers, nurses, or doctors. So preparation matters. We have preparation seminars, and they can be very costly to candidates. But here at Bay Path University, we offer a free instructor-led online seminar every June before the pre-practicum begins.
What a great perk. Phyllis, can out-of-state graduates get their licensure?
Well, at this time, they would have to contact their state's Department of Education to see how our coursework that they took at Bay Path can be applied towards their state's reading specialist licensure or certification requirements. However, you can always apply for a non-licensure degree if there isn't reciprocity.
Awesome. Could you highlight what sets the reading and literacy programs apart from other similar programs?
I'd be happy to. There are 5 areas that I would like to showcase: our students, our faculty, our courses of study, online learning experiences, and finally, recognition.
Awesome. I see you started with your students. I understand that we're serving students all over the country from very diverse fields and disciplines. Could you elaborate more on that?
Sure, we have students from Montana, California, Missouri, Vermont, Connecticut, New Hampshire, New York, just to name a few. We just recently accepted our first international student from Nigeria. Well, actually, not our first. We had a couple from Canada before her, so we're very excited. They're all seeking a deeper study. We have served SLPs, library specialists, special educators, advocates, curriculum directors, reading interventionists, reading specialists. We've even had a mom, a homeschooler, come through our program, and she's now advocating for homeschool practitioners with what she has learned. So, anyone with a literacy focus, like general educators as well. Think about this: literacy professionals and reading specialists have a variety of career options, primarily in the education sector, but also in related fields. As you can see, these programs prepare our students for many careers as literacy professionals. Just to name a couple: ed publisher, private tutors, entrepreneurs, community-based literacy directors, consultant, academic coach, AI and literacy integration specialist, which is up and coming, and employment in the areas of digital and media literacy.
Great. Now let's take some time and talk about your wonderful faculty.
I want to say that our faculty are accessible, fully present, and have navigated the complexities of facilitating evidence-based change at school, district, and even state levels. They hold program certifications and are highly skilled practitioners in the field. Some are consultants, have trained the trainers in evidence-based programs. They are a beacon of hope when it comes to educator and literacy professional preparation.
That's wonderful. And what could you tell us about the courses of study?
Well, as you can see, by the titles and list of courses, the program is comprehensive. The content knowledge is gained in the courses of study through examining a selective body of both seminal and current research, commonly referred to as the science of reading or reading science, which is pivotal when supporting stakeholders' missions for their students to access the fullness of being literate. Our courses are designed to prepare students for direct service and leadership roles in the implementation of structured literacy using high quality curriculum design and materials, evidence aligned language and literacy practices, for instructional planning and delivery, and assessment within a multi-tiered system of support framework.
Phyllis, you mentioned structured literacy. What does that entail?
Well, the term was first coined by the IDA, that's the International Dyslexia Association, in 2014. Simply, it is teaching and learning that is direct, explicit, systematic, cumulative, diagnostic, and multimodal. This approach integrates listening, speaking, reading, writing, and I would add thinking, and emphasizes the structures of language across the speech sound system. That's phonology. The writing system, that's orthography. Language across the speech, the structure of sentence, syntax, and the meaningful parts of words, morphology. The relationship among those words, semantics, and the organization of spoken and written discourse.
Wonderful. Now let's talk about structured literacy instruction for literacy leaders.
This is brand new, so I'm thrilled that we offer a 12 credit graduate level structured literacy instruction certificate for literacy leaders. It is a sought after credential that readies leaders for both national and state legislation and mandates, empowers them to be informed capacity builders based on evidence, and equips them for the challenge of leading change in their schools, districts, and some move on forward into the state.
What a great opportunity for people. Could you discuss the course's alignment to standards?
Well, this is really important, Gabby, and I really want our listeners to know that our courses are aligned to the IDA Knowledge and Practice Standards for Teachers of Reading, which serve to thoroughly prepare all literacy professionals. The guidelines state that the standards outline the content knowledge necessary to teach essential reading and writing skills and strategies to students in general, intervention, and remedial contexts, universal principles and practices of effective instruction, and our third, ethical conduct expected of professional educators and clinicians. But in addition, we're aligned to the Massachusetts Professional Standards for Teachers 2024. They were just come out. The subject matter guidelines for reading specialists and the Massachusetts curriculum frameworks and the Common Core state standards.
Awesome. Now let's move on to the learning experiences afforded.
We pride ourselves in a backward design approach. We have student expertise as the ultimate goal. Our students engaged in a flipped classroom where their module study is asynchronous. During their synchronous scheduled classroom time on Zoom, they build relationships and collaborative learning groups and with their instructor. They consolidate their knowledge and deepen the complexity and depth of their study. They're afforded spiraling repetition to mastery of concepts and practices far before their practicum. Online instructor led learning experiences include frequent collaboration, deliberate practice activities, digital interactives, our licensure practicum with coaching, and Orton Gillingham.
Now, how do the Orton Gillingham courses set your program apart?
Well, one of the most successful components of the reading and literacy instructional degree programs is our study of the Orton Gillingham approach through instruction by an accredited fellow of the Orton Gillingham Academy with the practicum. The intensive practice not only gives our graduates the skills they need, but also mirrors our program's philosophy of moving theory to practice.
That's awesome. Now, Phyllis, your last point was recognition for the programs. How have they been recognized?
This is exciting. Our programs are nationally and internationally recognized at the Accreditation Plus level by the International Dyslexia Association, IDA, and the Center for Effective Reading Instruction, CERI, has accredited our reading specialist licensure program and degree programs for the structured literacy classroom teacher and structured literacy dyslexia interventionist levels of certification upon passing their exam called the KPRE and meeting eligibility requirements.
So, what do these accreditations mean for our graduates?
Well, there are only about 30 to 50 colleges and universities in the entire country that meet the rigorous standards set forth by the IDA, and only three in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This distinction is highly recognized by employers of literacy professionals. Our graduates will belong to a community of practice that is prized.
That's wonderful. Thank you for enlightening us on the value of the reading and literacy instruction programs.
You're welcome.
Now, since this program is 100% online, you'd be utilizing Canvas to complete all of your coursework. Canvas is accessible from your desktop, tablet, or mobile app and has telecommunication and video capabilities. Additionally, there is a free course to orient you to the website and a dedicated online support team to assist you. Now, here at BayPath, we have a wonderful student financial services team that is here to help you from the application process through graduation to help answer any financial questions or concerns you may have. They're always available by phone, email, or in person. The Student Financial Services team has many helpful tools to assist you in the financial aid process, including FAFSA Fridays, Stafford loans that most students qualify for up to $20,500 a year, and Financial Aid TV, which is a great resource for financial aid information. To apply for the Reading and Literacy Instruction Program, you would first complete the free online BayPath University application. In addition to the application, we would need all official college transcripts, an original essay of 300 to 500 words, your current resume, one professional recommendation, a signed program requirements form, and, if applicable, a copy of your MTEL results and your current teaching license and any endorsements. And now we will go over some of the most commonly asked questions regarding the program. The first one is, what can I expect in my onboarding session?
Well, Gabby, expanding on what was shared above, onboarding new students will have an opportunity to meet with me where they have an orientation specific to their program, learn about their responsibilities, and how to navigate academic policies and procedures. We'll discuss course schedule options, expectations for online netiquette, and take a Canvas tour.
That's great, very helpful. How will I know if I'm ready for online learning?
Well, students may voluntarily complete a Ready for Online Learning survey that we created for our program that will provide them with guidance as to areas of strength and potential challenge. And in addition, as you stated earlier, BPU requires online Canvas training.
All right, the next question is, would I be able to juggle coursework and a full-time job while completing the program?
Important question. Yes, we understand that being present and available to our families, friends, and at work matters. We afford our students multiple levels of support, scaffolding, and advisement, knowing that graduate study is rigorous. Students will receive advice from their instructors and officially from me, their advisor. We support our students when they have a change of circumstance or if an emergency arises. We also use the BPU Early Alert Support System as a proactive measure when a student presents with some risk.
Wonderful. People usually ask, how accessible are the faculty?
Well, on all syllabi and in Canvas, we have set forth communication guidelines with the expectation that all students and instructors' correspondence will be answered, are you ready, within 24 hours. Our faculty can be reached through Gmail, phone, and in Canvas comments. I send the dates and times of the next scheduled courses to students 4 months before the next semester starts. It helps with planning. All faculty send a welcome email 4 weeks before their course is published. And in that email, they provide students with a calendar at a glance for the semester, a list of required textbooks, and the date when their course will be published. 2 weeks before the first Zoom class, the instructor publishes the course, and students have full access to Canvas and the syllabus. Before every scheduled Zoom class, the students receive an email reminder from their instructor that includes the recurring Zoom link, an agenda with due dates, and all digital handouts for that virtual classroom session.
Wow. The next question is instructor feedback and grading timely?
It's stated in our program's instructor roles and responsibilities that students will receive feedback on all assignments and that all assignment grades will be posted in Canvas no later than 1 week after the due date.
That's great. The next question is, can I complete my practicum where I work?
Yes, especially because this is a second initial license. As stated above, the field experience can be where you are employed as long as it is a Massachusetts public school setting or special education private school that has state approval.
Awesome. And the final question is, how many hours a week should I set aside for each course?
Well, the answer will vary depending on the individual learner. However, over the full semester, a graduate student should expect to spend at least 20 hours per week on their graduate level studies. Gabby, I want to thank the people who are watching this video presentation that highlights our degree program and certificates. Please also know that an inquiry virtual session with me may be arranged through you, Gabby, in order to further explore our program when discerning how to best meet your career and academic goals. Your application is only a few clicks away.
That's absolutely correct, Phyllis. I'm more than happy to assist any of you if you have any questions. On the slides, you can see my contact information as well as Phyllis's. And we thank you for watching our video. Have a wonderful day.
Bye now.